Feel like you need a win at least in Greensboro to get to the NCAA tournament or not?
You know, I feel like it's everything is completely out of our hands, and I have I've taken a completely different approach to the net and all this different stuff. I'm not going to control it. I will say that at NC State, I'm excited about where we have the record that we have. I think 22-9 and 12-8 in the conference. We've done a lot. It was funny. I was sitting upstairs, I was looking at this, so I thought I would share this with you. We played Miami, Clemson, Duke, Carolina, and Wake twice, and all of those guys have great records. Between those 5 teams are 64 and 36, and then if you add Georgia Tech in there, which we played twice, they're all combined. All 6 teams are 70 and 50. I don't know this, and certainly I know some guys can go back and check this, and I'll get Craig to check it. It may be the toughest conference schedule that I have played since I've been here. All 5 of those teams winning, and a lot of them are 15, 14, 13, 12, and even Wake Forest at 10 and 10. And so it's been a challenge, and when I look back and reflect on the season, really, really proud of where our guys are just to play that schedule with that many teams who are really good at the top of our league, to play them twice, and for us to be at 12-8. And so we've done a lot. Certainly all committees that pick anything have a tough job, and I'm not going to even insert myself into that to try to figure it out. Only thing we can control is how we play, and we'll get a chance to play against Virginia Tech, who's playing really good basketball, and then Notre Dame, who, man, if you watch those guys on senior night at Notre Dame, they can beat anybody in the country. And so, we get a chance. Our guys have earned the right to get the first round bye, and second round we get a chance to sit back and watch some people.
Has the time off been a good thing for the team? Have you made the most of it? And how's Jarkel's? Did he have any lingering problems with the ankle at all?
Yeah, I think the time off has been really productive for us. And now, Chip, you know this. This is a balancing act. How many days do you take off? Do you get on the court? You don't want to kind of over practice. You don't want to under practice. And so, we've been kind of taking our time with it. Take a couple of days off, go a couple of days, figure it out. Jarkel, I held him out a couple of days once we got back, because obviously he was sore. What he did at Duke was simply amazing. Like when I went over there and I saw him, I thought he would be out for the entire game and maybe for a week or two. And for him to come back in that game, and not only come back in the game, but to play the way he played was just, it was outstanding. It says a lot about him. He'll be ready to go on Wednesday. I don't know that he'll be 100%, but I will say this, who is 100% doing these days right now?
Have you taken the approach that even though you don't know who you will play, both teams really, really like to shoot 3-pointers?
Oh yeah.
And have 4 or 5 guys who can shoot 3-pointers?
They, when you look at both of those teams, great coach teams, they're really perimeter teams. They can really shoot the basketball. No matter who we play, we have to do a good job guarding the 3-point line. Both of those guys, I think I looked at the Virginia Tech against Florida State the other day, and I think they made 16 threes. And so, that's going to be a big part of our defense and a big part of our success by defending the 3-point line against either one of those teams.
Now that you've had some time to reflect on the regular season, when you first recruited DJ Burns and now that you've played a season with him, did you ever imagine that what he did this year would be what you got from him?
Of course I did. No, he and I had a meeting this morning just to chat, and he stops by the office. He's such an unbelievable personality, and we just talked about everything, and I'm just proud of him. A lot of times when you come up from a lower to mid-major conference, a lot of people will question that, can it translate? Well, it's translated. He can score the basketball. I think he's gotten better in rebounding the basketball. That was one of the issues that I had coming in. And then, I think he's gotten in better shape. And in order to play, it was a lot of naysayers, man, Kevin Keatts, he can never play in his system the way they play, the way they run. And he's been outstanding. And I'm happy for that kid. I mean, he's done a great job. And I shouldn't say kid, happy for the young man. And he's continued to get a lot better. We talked about him getting better defensively too. All of it wasn't good. I had to make sure he understood I needed him to become a better defender also.
Pretty sure you guys were the only ones that didn't play on Saturday. How do you evaluate rest versus rust and making sure you guys are in top shape going into Greensboro?
Yeah, that was tough. It was funny for me because I don't remember the last time I had a Saturday where I didn't have anything to do, and so it was a little tough on me because my wife gave me a list of stuff to do, which was a problem. So I would have much rather played. But it's a balancing act. It's so tough to try to figure out. We did practice on Saturday because I wanted them to stay in some type of routine. We took off on Sunday, which was yesterday. But it's hard to try to figure out what's too much and what's not enough, and so we just try to balance everything. A lot of times we got shots up, and the days that we were off, I was like, I want you to be off. I want you to rest a little bit.
And how do you evaluate wanting and getting that first round bye versus coming into a team who obviously has already won a game and has some momentum?
Hey, listen, I'm not complaining about buys. I think it's great. You get a chance to sit back and at least watch the tournament and see how it's going. I'm proud of our guys because we earned it. We would love to obviously have been in the top 4 to try to get a double bye, but it says a lot about these guys to go from where we were at last year to the turnaround to getting a bye, and obviously, it's really amazing to me that we went from 11 wins to 22 wins and from 4 conference wins to 12. I mean, that says a lot about the folks in this program. I give all the credit to the assistant coaches, the young men that were in the program, the young men that we recruited. I mean, they turned it around. I was just a general manager.
Did the off time allow you any time to kind of reflect on that journey and kind of what you all have done in a year's time?
It has. I am super proud. I mean, it's, what we've done and what these young men have been able to do. And it's really tough, and I'll tell you why, because, when you lose, it's so many in today's world, social media, and you guys as reporters, you had to write about it. It's the truth. And so for those guys to go through all of the scrutiny that they went through last year and to be able to achieve what we've done in the regular season, that makes it even more special to me.
What's it like kind of going into March with so much talk and reflection about the 40th anniversary of the 1983 team as you guys are making your own run?
I don't think that puts pressure on us. But I'll go back to the '83 team when they were here. Look, I know, and I've heard everything about them, and I've watched the game, and I've watched the 30 for 30s and all that, and that was all tremendous. But what we don't get a chance to do is meet those guys, and I met them for the first time, and I know that team was good, and I know that team overachieved, and they won a national championship. But they've been winning all their life. Those are really, really good men, and they shared a lot with our guys, and that doesn't put pressure on us. That doesn't mean we're supposed to win a national championship. I would love for it to be that miracle run. But it was just to have them around, and that night was, I think I said this before, that night was so special because at the end of the day, they had 2 great days on campus, and I didn't want to be the reason why it was be a little bit damper on their reunion coming back, so it was great for us to win the game.
Any concerns about Turquavian shooting over the last 7 or 8 games going into postseason? Seems like he's had a little bit of loss of confidence, especially in the outside shot.
No concern about him. If it was somebody else, I would be really concerned, but he might not even know he missed that many shots. He as a guy who can shoot the basketball, he's got short-term memory, and he's been fine. And when you go into those situations, Chip, it's almost like free throws. If you talk about it too much, it becomes a major problem. He's gotten in the gym. He's working on his shot. He will continue to work on his shot. But he's the type of guy, that he can miss 10 and he might not be playing well and can go into the tournament and may not miss. So no concern from my standpoint.
So the shot selection is okay with
His shot selection hasn't changed since the day he got here.
Do you see?
I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm just telling you that now.
Do you see a correlation at all that DJ's emergence probably had to come a little bit because of Dusan's injury, that maybe he got a little more, motivated, or a little more responsibility?
Yeah, JC, I had a perfect formula. I mean, it was perfect. It was working to a T.
It was.
And then Dusan got hurt, and it's crazy because people won't recognize this. Dusan was probably playing 22 minutes at that time, and DJ was at 18. And man, we were clicking. I had 2 different centers who could provide something different to our team. And then unfortunately with Dusan's situation, it forced DJ, I think what it forced him to do is get into great shape. And and be able to play longer stretches than he normally would have. And, you know, he's been, he bought in, he embraced, he worked harder, he got extra conditioning in, and it's really helped our team also, because if he didn't change, I don't think we would be in the position that we're in right now because of his ability to change. Now, that being said, some role players really stepped in those moments, with E.B. DeWanda stepping in, playing after playing so much last year. We were able to move Greg Gann and Ernest Ross into some of those situations. And through all of that, DJ he got in better shape, and that's how it ended up right now.
Jack has battled injuries almost all year long, seems like. Had a pretty good game that dude. What does he look like over the last week or so?
Well, I think he's, in the last couple of days, he's looked better than he's done, and tough, better than he has in the last few weeks. His biggest thing is getting back in shape, into the way we play. So it's a little different for us, because we get up and down so much and we run. And so when a guy's out, it takes a little longer to get back into playing shape the way we play. And a lot of times it doesn't affect you as much on the defensive end, it's the offensive end, because we get out and run, we try to score fast, and then a guy who shoots threes, that's what his biggest adjustment. But he's had a couple of really good days that seems like he should be ready to go on Wednesday. And look.
Rick Pitino is notorious for conditioning. You ever find yourself channeling your inner Rick Pitino when you're talking to DJ?
No, I don't. Rick Pitino is the best at conditioning. I can tell you that now. If you're looking at me now, and I think I look pretty good when I worked for Rick Pitino, I probably was 167 pounds. I remember a trip. We were at AAU Nationals, and when I first got there, we were, just going into the summers. We were going there. Getting back from AAU Nationals, I landed in Louisville, and because I was working for Coach Pitino, who, number one, makes everybody in the entire program be in the best shape of their life. So when I first got there, I was on the elliptical, I don't know, maybe 7 hours a day, and I know that's not exaggeration, and it was great. And so I got back, when you go on the road, the toughest thing for a coach going on the road is because you got to watch so many games, and during those games, you got to try to grab you something. It's a grab and go situation. You got to go from one gym to the other. And I'll be honest with you, you don't eat the most healthy food. Well, I decided in Orlando, man, I'm going to eat healthy. I'm sticking to this because I don't want to hear Coach Pitino's mouth when I get back. So when I landed in Orlando, my wife Georgette looked at me and my eyes were so sunken right here, and I was so skinny. She's like, "What happened to you?" I was like, "I'm not going to put on weight because I know that." So long story short, our guys work at their own pace. I'm not trying to get anybody to, lose weight. They know what they have to do to play in this program. Coach Pitino is the best at that. He's changed so many bodies. I wish I was as good as he was.
How much weight has DJ lost since the beginning of the year?
I
Seems like he's
don't know.
slimmed down some.
Chip, I don't know. I stay away from that stuff. You can ask him. I don't know.
You don't monitor the.
Huh?
You don't monitor the.
I don't. I tried that when I first got into college coaching, and I try to be like Coach Pitino and say, man, I want this, and I lost those battles, and so I stay away from it. I will say this: his body looks good. I don't know how much he weighs. I don't know what his body fat. I don't even get into that stuff.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
You got to